She gave away her only meal to a boy she didn't even know. The world kept walking past, but she stopped. What she never imagined was that the boy's father, a billionaire, would arrive the next day with a fleet of supercars parked in front of her home. The afternoon sun baked the cracked sidewalks of the city. Amira, a young black girl of just 13, clutched her lunchbox tightly. It wasn't much, a sandwich, an apple, and a juice box, but it was all she had for the day. She sat quietly on a park bench near the schoolyard, her stomach rumbling. Life had been hard since her father passed away. Her mother worked double shifts. Every meal mattered, but then, as she unwrapped her sandwich, she saw him. A boy no older than 6 wandered the edge of the park. His clothes were too big, his eyes wide with confusion. He clutched a torn teddy bear, his lips trembling. He looked so alone, so hungry. Amira's first instinct was to look away. She barely had enough for herself. But her heart wouldn't let her. Hey, she whispered softly, kneeling in front of him. Are you hungry? He nodded, silently. Without hesitation. She pressed the sandwich into his hands. Here, you need this more than me. The boy's eyes lit up. Tears rolled down his cheeks as he bit into the food. A group of teens nearby laughed at Amira. Look at her, giving away her food. Like she's rich or something. But Amira ignored them. She sat with the boy until his tiny shoulders stopped shaking. She even gave him her juice. When he finished, he whispered, "Thank you." And then, before she could ask where his parents were, a frantic woman appeared, scooping him into her arms. His mother. Amira smiled, picked up her empty lunchbox, and walked home with nothing in her stomach, but warmth in her heart. That night, in a towering mansion miles away, a man listened to his wife's trembling voice as she told him what had happened. Their son, Ethan, had wandered off from his caretaker. It was a terrifying ordeal. But what struck her most was the girl who had given away everything she had to feed a stranger. The man was no ordinary father. He was Adrian Cole, billionaire investor, collector of rare supercars. One of the wealthiest men in the city, and he was determined to find that girl. The next morning, Amira rubbed her eyes as a thunderous noise echoed outside. She pulled back the curtain and froze. Street after street glistened with the reflections of polished metal. Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Bugattis, an entire fleet of supercars lined up in front of her crumbling apartment building. Neighbors spilled out, gasping and snapping photos. Then came the knock at the door. Her mother opened it cautiously. Standing there, flanked by suited men, was Adrian Cole himself. "Are you Amira?" he asked gently. Amira swallowed hard and nodded. He knelt to her eye level. "My son told me about you. You gave him your meal when he was lost. You didn't know who he was. You didn't know who I was. But you chose kindness over hunger." Her eyes widened. He was just a little boy. He needed it. Adrian's lips curved into a faint smile. "And that is why I'm here." He motioned outside. One by one, the doors of the supercars opened, each revealing bags filled with food, toys, books, and supplies. Her neighbors gasped, whispering in awe, but Adrian wasn't done. "Amira," he said, his voice steady, "kindness like yours deserves to be honored. From this day forward, you and your family will never go hungry again. Your education, your future, it will all be taken care of." Amira's mother covered her mouth, tears spilling down her cheeks. The same teens who had mocked Amira stood frozen at the edge of the street. Their laughter was gone. In its place was shame. Amira, the girl they ridiculed, was now the girl every billionaire would respect. Adrian placed a hand on Amira's shoulder. "True wealth isn't measured by what we keep, but by what we give. Yesterday, you gave everything you had. Today, it's time the world gave something back to you." The crowd erupted in applause. Cameras flashed. But Amira only looked down at her empty lunchbox, the one she had given away, and smiled. It wasn't empty anymore. Weeks later, a foundation was created in her name, the Amira Fund for Children. It provided meals for thousands of hungry kids across the city. And every time she passed the fleet of supercars that Adrian Cole parked proudly at community centers, she remembered the boy with the teddy bear and the day her empty stomach changed her life.